Hi, I'm Stumpy Nubs, and this is my horizontal router, part 2. In our last video, I talked a little bit about the concept that went into the machine itself. I designed it for making raised panels with a regular straight router bit, but I knew that I would find a lot of other uses for it. Right away, I knew it would be great for all sorts of routing tasks on the end of narrow workpieces. That's why I designed the sled on top. It's the same principle I used on my sliding top router table. A sled gives you the ability to secure your workpiece and carry it cleanly through the cutter. My plan was to use just a square to align the workpiece on the sled and then clamps to hold it down, but I also thought it would be useful to have a fence that automatically squares the workpiece. The fence design is pretty simple. It's just a 6-inch wide by 12-inch long triangle with a strip of wood along the bottom, and then another strip along its length. The fence keeps your parts perpendicular to the router plate, which is important, especially if you're cutting something like miters or tenons. In fact, you can use it to slowly advance your workpiece into the cutter, taking small bites to minimize tear out. I use a simple fixed base router for this machine. I actually ordered an extra base for it from the manufacturer so that I can take the router motor off the machine and leave the router base there. Then I can stick the motor in a new base and use it for handheld routing. And not only does that make it easy to swap the motor in and out of the base, it also gives me a ready-made mechanism to set the depth of my bit. Another improvement I wanted to make right away was to add dust collection. This attachment is pretty simple too. It's the same one that I had on my original version of this machine. I just took a 2-inch by 4-inch piece of wood and then I cut a hole in it just large enough to fit my shop vac hose. I attached a couple of 2-inch by 2-inch sides, screwed a piece of plexiglass to the front, and glued a couple of 1-inch wide wings to the sides so I could run screws through those wings and into the router plate to attach it, and then I'm finished. I know I'm going to continue to find more uses for this machine all the time. It's just one of those things that really lends itself to creativity, especially with the tilting table and the sliding sled feature. It really opens up a lot of possibilities. If you haven't watched the regular concept video about it, you can check that out and plans for this project over at stumpynubs.com. Thanks for watching.